Welcome back, Intrepid Adventurers, to another exciting day of Let's Playing Quest 64. Let's go into the Crystal Caverns. I hope you are having a great day in your wonderful, beautiful life. I'm sure you are a beautiful person and get all of the ladies slash guys slash, I don't know, squirrels if that's what you're into. Please don't be into squirrels. Alright. Last we left off, we had just defeated Zels, the Wind Mage, and acquired the Wind Jade. Heaven knows how he got it. It's really funny when you think about it. Consider how this game works, right? The lore of this world, as shallow as it is. We have something called the Eltale Book, and the Eltale Book has the ability to bring about something called the Day of Grief. And it can only do so by acquiring the 4 elemental crystals, gems. They all have different names. I think we have the Earth Orb and the Wind Jade. I don't want to go where there's arrows telling us to go. Let's go the wrong way. The Earth Orb and the Wind Jade. The Earth Orb was at least kept in, what was his name? Scottfort's treasury. But then we get no explanation as to how the Wind Jade comes into the hands of Zels. It just says he found it. Like, a vagabond was just wandering around the forest and he found this gem. How does that make any sense? I mean, we have to fill in the gaps, right? We have to fill in, there has to be a better explanation than hashtag he picked it up out of the dirt. Oh gosh. Yeah, you've probably figured this out, but since we're in a water crystal cavern thing, we're facing off against a lot of water creatures. Normally I would say that wind is our better approach here, and it might be with the enemies lined up in a straight line like this, because we can hit them all like that. But normally I would say that wind is a better approach simply because these enemies are likely to be resistant to water. However, we have so many points in water at this point that water outclasses wind for the most part. In fact, it deals equal damage if we use walking water. Which is interesting. But yeah, so we're on our way to acquire whatever the water crystal gem Steven Universe is. Realized it after I said it. In order to prevent the lake from flowing backwards, which perhaps I made fun of that earlier, saying I didn't think lakes flowed at all, and maybe that's the point, is that, I guess if the lake had an outlet, it would flow, wouldn't it? Oh well. Seriously though, how did Zels get that Wind Jade? It's like, I'm a traveling vagabond. My troop doesn't understand me, they don't appreciate me, no one does. Oh, this rock is shiny. Better use it to seek revenge on everyone by dicking with the wind. So funny. Oh well. But yeah, what kind of nefarious team is at work? If we can even call them a team. If we're to believe that Zels truly is a vagabond, then there is no connection between Solvering and Zels. It seems to almost be random, the gems surfacing from their hidden locations of history related to the Eltale Book. Also, people seem to claim that an imbalance in the elements will just cause problems on a normal day. And that makes sense, so even if they don't have the Eltale Book, acquiring the gems and then using them in excess would likely unbalance the elemental something scales of reality. So we're running into a lot of battles here. It's not that we can't fight these guys. In fact, we're fully capable of fighting them. I just don't want to use the MP when we're so low. We need to have enough MP to beat them and then heal after the battle. So all of these guys are being kind of annoying right now. We've reached the point where we really aren't going to have any trouble with the game anymore. Cull Hazard and that forest are kind of the last... I don't know why I just stared them in the face and healed. Cull Hazard and the forest and Zels and everything are kind of the last hurrah as far as really difficult parts of the game go. Assuming you've built Brian correctly, once we reach this point of the game, we are pretty much golden. Yeah, there's going to be enemies that deal damage to us. We'll need to make sure we conserve our MP, and we'll need to heal and that kind of stuff. But in general, these monsters shouldn't pose any real threat to us. Miss? Brian, how could you? Okay, really, Brian. I'm just gonna bop him. I know I've said it 1,000 times, but we really are gunning for drain mana and water. After we get that, it is kind of free game as far as what we want to put our points into. I love this. I'm pretty sure this is water, and I'm pretty sure Brian is completely submerged in icy, cold water. We'll see how long he can hold his breath. Anyway. Love these random battles, though. Admittedly, the mimics are cute in their slugness. Wait, did we get Drain Magic? Did I see it? There it is. Okay, we have Drain Magic at 40. We're good. We don't have to put any more points into water. We can do what we want. Admittedly, I don't know what that is. That random battle is a little ridiculous, isn't it? I think you should be able to take a couple more steps than that before running into another battle. It is curious, though. I mean, how does the game roll the dice on that, right? How does it determine when you run into a new battle? Squirrely little scorpion. Gotta be careful to not actually die, though. Taking about 25 per hit. So we can take one more. Oh, get a freebie. Actually, with Drain Magic, we should probably just hop into one of these battles and just take all of their MP. Just like that, you have to make that sound effect. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Ah, come on. I'll stop being silly. Seriously, though, we probably do just want to see if we can drain these spells. I gotta find a good... Here we go. It's down, left, up. Okay. There we go. Look how nice that is. Like, it's just such a quality of life spell. Like, you don't need it. We could just run away and regain our MP by running around like a chicken with its head cut off, but at the same time, just being able to drop a spell and get all our MP back is not even important that you're draining it from the monster. It's more just important that you're getting it. If it was just a spell that just said, gain a bunch of MP, it would still be amazing. Okay, I don't think it was worth it to keep our distance there. But realistically, I don't know another way to play the game and actually be able to contest all of these random battles that it's constantly pitting you against without having Drain Magic. I mean, what else are you supposed to do? I don't know, I guess if you were using Fire and Vampiric, vampiric drain or whatever, you would have more mana in general. Okay, so the crystal cavern that we find ourselves in now is larger than Cole Hazard. It has quite a few more twists and turns, but lacks any kind of super creature like the wyvern from Cole Hazard. So there's nothing we really need to even look out for in here. It's just going to be a lot of enemies like this. Ones that we can take out fairly easily. None of them deal a ton of damage, especially for the point of the game that we're at. In my opinion, this is kind of where, especially if you're running, you know, a water-focused playthrough, this is the part of the game where the mechanics kind of fall apart. Because a lot of the battles are going to be us doing this, just trying to drain magic over and over again, because we just want full MP at the end of the battle. And at this point, we're going to drop a water spell on these guys. We're going to heal here. And then it's like the battle never happened. So we're not only were we self-sustaining because of healing, but we're nearly like unfazed by the battles because of the fact that we end them with a full MP. Oh well, every game has quirks like this, right? Shouldn't even call it quirks. It's just dominant strategies after years of playing a game. Not even like it takes years to understand the draining mana is good. Oh well. You'll get a lot of arrows in the Crystal Caverns telling you to go one way or another. Typically, I just ignore them. I go the opposite way. There tends to be more goodies if you don't follow the path. I don't want to fight you guys. Okay, so admittedly, sometimes the dead ends really are dead ends. My real issue with the crawlers is just how long they take to take their turn. Maybe if they moved faster, they'd be more fun to fight. They do deal quite a bit of damage, though. What is this, 20? It's about as much as the orcs were doing. Oh no, just like 16. That's kind of my point, though, right? That force was brutal. When we fought Celtland, those orcs were doing like 25 damage. We had a lot less HP back then. We came into that force with what, like 100? We left with 115? It's kind of nuts. This is what I mean, though. We're going to just manipulate this single crawler. We're going to heal ourselves up to full. He's going to be dealing about 6 to 7. Oh, you know, something I didn't consider is that because we have a lot of water spirit, we might be more resistant to water. Maybe that's why these guys aren't doing more damage to us. In fact, now that I think about it, that seems to hold true. Because fire monsters and earth monsters are really trouble for us. But wind tends not to do... Oh no, I'm totally turned around. Well, here's hoping this is the way we were going. It is! I hope. I think. Rude. I don't really want to get close to this guy. I guess we'll just stand from the distance and shoot him with wind cutters. We can dodge the walking water by running right and left. It is pretty easy to get lost in here, though. Turned around, certainly, even more so than Call Hazard. Mostly because there's a couple more branching paths in here. There's this whole area later. It's actually quite pretty. It's like this giant ice series of walkways. I'm not quite sure how to describe it. The regular water pillar spell, though, does just do so much damage. It is kind of funny that water gets the best of both worlds. It gets the really high damaging front range spell, and then it gets the healing defensive spell. Of course, any element will deal a bunch of damage if you put a lot of points into it. So I don't know if that's entirely fair. Right or left? I don't know, there's stones telling us to go to the right. I feel like we should go to the left. The only advantage the Wind Cutter has on us at this point is it's a little easier to hit people. Although, what if we did walking water here? It does the same amount of damage. I don't know if it's strictly an improvement. Wind Cutter might be dealing a bit more, actually. Probably a combination of the fact that they are, I would imagine, resistant to water. Okay, right or left? I say we ignore those stones and go left.